Every single day, people walk into my office convinced they're doing everything right. They walk 30 minutes. Sometimes more. And yet, knee pain. Chronic fatigue. Numbness in their legs. A feeling of getting worse, not better. The first question I always ask is simple: how exactly are you walking? Because the problem is almost never how little you walk. The problem is how wrong you walk. And wrong walking doesn't just waste your effort, it actively destroys your joints, wrecks your posture, and drives chronic inflammation through your body. In 15 years of clinical practice, I see this over and over again. Today I'm going to tell you everything your doctor won't. Stay with me. After 50, your body undergoes 4 major physiological changes, and walking directly addresses all 4. 1. Muscle loss. After 50, you lose 1 to 2% of your muscle mass every single year. Over a decade, that's up to 20% gone. Muscle isn't just for strength. It stabilizes joints, regulates blood sugar, and keeps your balance intact. 2. Joint stiffness. Cartilage has no blood supply. It feeds only through movement, through the fluid that gets pushed in when you load the joint. Without regular movement, cartilage literally starves and begins to break down. That's osteoarthritis, and it is not inevitable. 3. Slower metabolism. Your basal metabolic rate drops 2 to 3% every decade after 50. The same lifestyle that kept you lean at 30 will cause weight gain at 55, not because you changed, but because your biology did. 4. Poor circulation. Blood vessels lose elasticity. Peripheral blood flow weakens. That's why so many people over 50 feel cold feet, leg cramps, and heavy, tired legs by evening. Walking, done correctly, targets all 4 of these at once. But here's what nobody tells you: walk the wrong way, and you don't get a smaller benefit. You create brand new problems. You step outside and immediately hit full speed. It feels productive. But your body is not a car, you cannot just turn a key. Cold muscle fibers are less elastic, which means micro tears are more likely. Your joints aren't yet lubricated, synovial fluid needs a few minutes of slow movement to spread evenly across joint surfaces. And your cardiovascular system hasn't adapted. A sudden spike in heart rate puts unnecessary stress on blood vessel walls that are already less flexible. The fix: spend the first 3 to 5 minutes walking slowly, almost leisurely. That is your warm-up. It costs you 0 extra time. You are simply starting smarter. Watch most people walk. Head jutting forward. Shoulders rounded. Eyes fixed on the pavement. Here's the science: an adult head weighs about 11 pounds. When it sits directly over the spine, that's the load your neck carries. Shift it forward just 1.5 inches and that load triples. At 2 inches forward, it multiplies 5 times. Your neck is now carrying the equivalent of 50 pounds, every step, every minute. That's why so many people come home from a walk with a sore neck. It's not old age. It's posture. And there's more: rounded shoulders compress your diaphragm. Shallow breathing. Less oxygen. You feel exhausted after 20 minutes and blame your fitness level. The real culprit is how you carry yourself. The fix: imagine a thread pulling the crown of your head gently upward. Shoulders relaxed and slightly back. Eyes on the horizon, not the ground. Chest open. That's it. Shoes are the last thing most people think about, and that is a serious mistake. After 50, the fat pads on the soles of your feet thin out. Those pads were your natural shock absorbers. Without them, every ground impact travels straight up: ankle, knee, hip, lower back. Additionally, foot muscles and ligaments weaken with age. The arch begins to collapse, shifting load angles on your entire lower body. Your shoes must compensate. They need adequate cushioning, proper arch support, and a flexible front sole that allows your foot to roll heel to toe naturally. One more thing: if you've been wearing the same sneakers for over a year, the midsole foam has lost most of its shock-absorbing capacity, even if the shoe looks fine on the outside. The fix: replace your walking shoes once a year. That's not a sales pitch. That's osteoarthritis prevention. Busy all week, then a 2-hour walk on Sunday. That feels virtuous. Physiologically, it's counterproductive. Your body doesn't respond to isolated bursts. It responds to repeated, consistent signals. Every time you walk, your body gets the message: movement is the norm. And it adapts: heart, blood vessels, muscles, metabolism. One walk a week is too weak a signal. The body never adapts. The benefit stays minimal. Worse, a single long walk after days of rest is a stress event for unprepared muscles. They hurt the next day. People conclude walking isn't for them. Wrong conclusion. The fix: 20 to 30 minutes, 5 to 6 days a week. That is the evidence-based minimum dose for cardiovascular protection. Start with 3 days if needed, then add 1 day every 2 weeks. Most people hold their arms stiff or shove them in their pockets. It seems harmless. It's not. Walking is a full-body cross-coordination pattern. Your left leg and right arm move together. This distributes spinal load symmetrically and reduces twisting forces on the lower back. When your arms don't move, the spine must overcompensate, and for anyone with existing back issues, this triggers pain. Moving arms also recruit muscles across your chest, shoulders, and upper back, burning more calories, improving circulation, and boosting metabolic effect from the exact same walk. The fix: bend your elbows to roughly 90 degrees and let them swing naturally, opposite to your legs. No exaggerated pumping. Just stop pinning your arms to your body. 20 years ago, this mistake didn't exist. Today it's everywhere. When you look at your phone while walking, your head tilts downward. We've already established what that does to your neck. Your shoulders round. Breathing becomes shallow. And you're reinforcing exactly the posture problems we just talked about, but now intensified. More critically, after 50, your balance and spatial awareness naturally begin to decline. Your brain increasingly relies on visual input to stay steady. When your eyes are on a screen, you stop seeing uneven pavement, curbs, and drops. The risk of a fall rises dramatically. A fall after 60 frequently means a fractured wrist, fractured ribs, or a hip fracture. A hip fracture means surgery, immobilization, and months of rehabilitation. And there's a neurological benefit you're giving up. Walking while paying attention to your surroundings actively trains coordination, spatial awareness, and mental focus. When you're on your phone, your legs are moving but your brain is checked out. The fix: phone in your pocket for the entire walk. Use earbuds for audio. Keep the screen out of your hands. Nobody talks about this, because walking seems too light to require recovery. It's not. Muscle tissue is 70 to 75% water. Even mild dehydration, just 1 to 2% fluid loss, measurably reduces muscle elasticity, slows recovery, and increases cramping risk. After a walk, your muscles remain slightly shortened from repeated contraction. Over time, they become tight and rigid. Range of motion decreases. Stiffness becomes chronic, especially in the calves, hamstrings, and lower back. And rest days aren't laziness. Your body does not adapt during exercise. It adapts during recovery, when muscle fibers reinforce themselves, when joints remodel, when the cardiovascular system restructures. The fix: after every walk, 1 glass of water, 5 minutes of gentle stretching. And 1 to 2 rest days per week. That is the correct protocol.